start this one. It's been a pretty rough year for everybody. Some of you have struggled with employment. Others have struggled with a lot of stuff. I mean, if you find a cynic, they struggle with everything. But overall, we're all still breathing, most of us. Most of us are still waking up regularly on any given morning. And most of us are clothed. I don't see any naked people in here. Most of us are well fed. In fact, a few of you could lose a few. In other words, we're probably richer and more blessed than 75% of the rest of the people in the world. Think about that. There are people that barely wake up every morning, that are so sick and so emaciated and starving to death that they have nothing. So when it comes to Christmas, it always behooves me to go into the stores. Most people would not do that, but I love to. And if you just want to get a good photograph, a picture of humanity, what you want to do today, this afternoon, or maybe tomorrow, or certainly the rest of this week, is go over to Costco and just walk around. Oh, Lord have mercy. You look at this and you go, these people aren't human. Where are they from? Or if Costco's not good enough, go to Sam's. Or if you really want the pizza resistance, Walmart. Boy, those are beauties in there. Sometimes you just get a look at people. I remember in Jacksonville, there was a young lady, a young man, newly married, not too new. They're about 6 or 7 years into the project. And they had a little boy who was just turning 4. And I used to sit and do, we don't do it here anymore, but we used to do it up there. They have a little children's sermon in the middle of the service, and where the kids come up and the parents think it's great. And I would always ask, at Christmas time, I'd say, well, what would you like at Christmas? And they'd all say, oh, I want this, or I want a pony, or I want a bunny, or whatever. And, the parents would go, oh, that's my baby. And I asked this one kid, I said, well, you should be excited for Christmas. You're getting a little baby brother. And the kid looks at me and says, yeah, maybe, but there's other things I need more. Now, how do you respond to that? There's other things I need more. I think that should be the anthem of the year 2020. There's other things I need more today. But is it really, when you think about it just for a moment, was it really that horrific of a year? I'm not saying it didn't have its headaches and heartaches. I'm not saying we haven't lost some people very dear to us. But that happens every year, doesn't it? Fact of the matter is, this year we're actually down in the number of people who have perished, even with the pandemic. From the last 5 years, we're actually down. So has it really been that tough a year? You want to know what a tough year is? It's when a little 14-year-old girl comes home and she's pregnant and she tells mom and dad, God did it. And mom and dad says, you better probably go see your Aunt Elizabeth, which is on the other side of the country in that day and age, and stay with her a while. So she makes this long, incredible journey because of some stupid government interference, a census thing. And while she's there, she's getting ready to have a baby. They can't find a place to stay, so they go into a cave, basically. It wasn't a nice stable. I know we make it look like that, but there's no nice stables in that part of the world. They were caves, rocks, holes in the ground, where they hid the animals out of the weather. And she gives birth to her firstborn child at the grand age of about 14 or 15 years old. And she has to lay him in a cattle trough because there's nowhere else to put him. That's a bad year. And then after all the hoopla is done and the songs are sung and the stars done shining, Joseph, her husband, who hadn't about 16 or 17 himself, is visited by an angel in a dream that says, you really need to run away because a man is coming with a lot of soldiers who's going to kill all the babies in this city. So in the dead of night, they grab what they can. They make their way down as a refugee to a foreign country. And they're just children with a child, trying to save the child's life. That's a bad year. If anyone on this planet had the right, the license to complain, it would have been Mary. And she sings, my soul exalts the Lord. My spirit rejoiced in what God, my Savior, has done. For he has regard for the humble state of his bondservant. I mean, he couldn't have picked a lower person on the totem pole than me. And yet, my name will be called blessed throughout the end of the generations. Mary wasn't having a bad year. At least not in her mind, not in her heart. We're going to talk about this song of Mary. Life is hard sometimes. Life gets tough sometimes. Life will punch you and punch you and punch you. What are you going to do about it? We're going to sing one more song, and it's entitled